Hey guys, this is my Plum paper video where I'm going to go over my Plum paper and how I've used it. I've already done a video on MäksēLife Daily Simplified Planner and MäksēLife Weekly Simplified Planner. Then I've done a video with all my planners and them together and which ones have worked for me this year and which ones have not, and kind of how I'm using them for planning. Okay, this is Plum paper. This is the one I'm in right now, because let me tell you about Plum paper. This one was way back in 16 though. They've changed their covers up and they have some more fresh, more modern looking stuff now, what I consider. So I'll show you both of them, but this is the one I'm still in. Plum paper has a lot of versatility. It's very affordable and it holds up really well. It has great paper that does not show through like the MäksēLifes that I talked about in my video, showing through even when it doesn't bleed through. These do not do that. You can start a Plum paper planner in any month you want to. This one I started in April of 2016. So you can go to the Plum paper site. They have many choices for weekly layouts, or they have a monthly only. They have a fitness planner. I think they have a wedding planner now. They have teacher planners. They're kind of similar to ERIN CONDREN, except for cheaper and more versatile. So this one I started in April of 2016. You can add months to go up to 18 months. I added only a few, and I went to June of 2017. So it started in April of 2016. I went to June of 2017. You get to pick what month you start in, so you're not wasting any money. You can start the middle of the year. You can start any time you want. I absolutely love that versatility. I think that's amazing. And you can get 12 months, or you can add a 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, up to 6, any number you want in between there for only a few dollars more. That is a huge savings. To make your planner last longer, if you know you love their planner and you don't mind having it a little bit thicker, to go for the 18 months is definitely a bargain and saves you money on shipping and on the planner. Her coil spiral has always worked fine for me. They don't have coil colors at this point. I haven't checked super recently. They don't have coil color upgrades like ERIN CONDREN, but I don't mind at all. This was the cover I chose way back when. They have more updated ones. It's kind of a laminated, it's waterproof, but it's not hard, but you can't bend it. Like you try to bend it and it's gonna go back to its shape. So it's very durable, but it doesn't give you a hard like chipboard writing surface. This is what their month tabs look like. This is cardstock. Okay, they have the A for April. On the back, because it's a cardstock, it's a little bit glossy feel here, but it's not glossy, only on this monthly page. I don't love that because I kind of don't love writing on that surface, but then again, I really don't use these boards in here because I'm using my InkWELL press for goals and stuff, so that's okay with me. When I first got it, I kind of experimented with the board, but they do have room for birthdays, events, and things to remember in that month, April happenings. Then they have April notes, and then it goes into your monthly right after that. One thing I kind of don't like is that I kind of like my monthly tab on the month. So when you open it, you flip to your monthly spread. That's just me. But you have to open it and then flip a page because the notes are there. Here's their monthly layout in their old one. Their new one looks different. So I'm not even going to show you much of this because I was just going to show you because this is a different design, weekly layout than my old one. So I'm going to show you this design. Her colors have changed a little bit, but they always go in ombre. I don't love all of her colors. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. So I'm going to flip to like, let's see. I don't use this monthly spread except for tracking like illnesses and doctor appointments. Here's what my week looks like all marked up. I'm going to show you a clean one and show you her spread here, of which this is one of my least favorite colors. So I'm sorry, but it's one of the only clean ones. Let's go here to June. This is the last month of this book. This one I got what she calls the family planner. At least I think they may have changed the name now though, and I didn't check, I'm sorry. You can either leave these 7 boxes blank, or you can type in what you want printed in each box and it will print the same through your whole planner. When I first started using this, I don't really follow these boxes now, but I like the 7 boxes. But I always put my go-to in the top, and I still do that. I plan way ahead. Any appointments or places we have to be that day, that always goes in the top box only. That draws my attention there. And then I used to have my top 1, 2, 3, top 3 things to get done. Computer work, to call anywhere on, and my calling, which is like a job at church. I like the weekly list. I don't follow all these now, so that's fine if you printed stuff and you change how you use it, because you know in your mind how you use it. Like now I use my last column for like if I went to the gym, okay? And so I don't follow all the 1, 2, 3s. But I do like how the month calendar is up here every single week. I do like the notes to what like top things for that week. Her paper is very thick. If we look at, and it's not slick, but it has a really smooth, maybe almost, it's not slick feel. I don't love writing on it as much as InkWELL, but this is the second best paper. InkWELL is my favorite paper. This is my second favorite in a planner. And as you can see, it is all scribbled up on the page behind here. You cannot see hardly anything show through. And that is all scribbled up. And you do not see that, like MäksēLife has a problem with that. This one, you don't have a problem. Okay, so one other thing to note is when a month ends in her planner, let me show you this. Well, that one starts on a Monday, so that's not going to work to show you. She gives you a choice of 2 weeks to use. So like when June starts, she's giving you the end of May in gray, and then she's starting with the June color. But then at the end of May, she also gives you that very same week with the May color, and then the beginning of June into the gray. So you don't want to get confused. I usually paperclip mine. I choose which week to use, and I paperclip it in advance because I don't want to actually write something on this week, something on this week. They're the same week and miss them. So I actually don't like that choice. Just give me the week once, because this week being here and then all these pages in the new month in between, it can be confusing when you're planning ahead because you've got to pick one of these weeks to plan in and not write anything in this week. And that's what I've done. So that's something to note. She has some extra pages at the back, contacts, passwords, special dates planning ahead for the months, some more blank pages, and another notes at the very end. And she does have that notes in between each month. She has a folder, which is very helpful and holds a lot. I just have some of the old calendars cut out in here and some stuff stuck. This was very well used. So I use this to plan out my weeks in advance. And then when it comes to that week, I can kind of transfer the stuff into my MäksēLife daily. So this has been my base system, my Plum paper, along with my MäksēLife daily simplified planner for a long time, just those two. This would always stay laid out on my desk. I never transported it anywhere. On the week it was on the top left corner of my desk. So it was always laid out there like that. I'm going to show you the new Plum paper from this year because this one ends in June. And so I could have waited to order one, but when they had a Black Friday sale, I was like, oh, I should just get it on the sale, even though I don't need it till June. But then I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep Plum paper into next year. But we'll see. So I may have some wasted months. So I started this one in June of 2017, and it's going to only go until, oh no, sorry. My other one ended in June. So I started in July of 2017, and it's going to go till June of 2018. I only did a 12-month because, like I said, I just wasn't sure how long I was going to keep using it. So I didn't add any extra months. And you can see the difference kind of in the size. Okay, in the coils. I don't know how well you can see that. You get a smaller coil. You do, and it feels smaller than the one that I added. How many extra months did I add in this one? Let me see. If I started it in April, and then it would have ended in March. Okay, I only added 3 extra months. But 3 extra months, they have to put a bigger coil on. And 3 extra months is about this thick. I was going to show you. So that's the 3 extra months. This would have just been the 12-month. That's the 3 extra months. And they had to put a bigger coil on for that. So this is a smaller coil, and it's noticeably just feels smaller in your hand. It does. But like I said, mine laid out on my desk. So I didn't really mind it being bigger. But if you are going to carry this in a bag, I would say just go with the 12-month, whatever month you started on. You won't be able to get that extra savings. But this year they added this thick plastic, really thick cover. But this cover was already unbendable and waterproof. That's just, I guess, if you're carrying it around a lot. They have upgraded their look Here's where it starts. That's the back of your cover. You can write in the front there your name. Here is 2017 laid out really beautifully. I like their updated modern look. They give you 2018 also, so whatever months you choose, if you go into 2 years, they're going to give you both of those years. They may give you the next year anyway if you don't go into both of those years. I'm not sure. You're planning ahead, special dates. They've updated the look, ideas, plans, and goals. So they've just left that blank for you. Every box is blank for you to use this however you desire, whatever works for you. Like I said, I don't love all their colors. Some I like better than others. I do like their color scheme better this year than the last one I had. So you open it. It's the same design as the last year. They've left it the same. Goal 1, 2, and 3, birthdays, events, things to remember. So mine starts in July, and it starts with lime green. There's the one note page. Then you go into the monthly spread. The monthly is really updated. It looks a lot more modern. Here, I'll show you again my other month so you can compare. Here is the old month and the old book I ordered. And here is the new month. It's just some of the fonts and stuff. It's updated. They moved the calendar down to here, and they just gave you all the lines instead of splitting it into notes and lines, which I think is great. That's good with me. Then it goes into the week, and like I said, they gray out the week right there when you're starting in. So anyway, they've left that the same. Here's what I wanted to show you. I ordered a different format for the first time in Plum paper. This was my third Plum paper to buy, I think, too, or it might have been my fourth. I think it's my third. How I had this one where you could fill in, and it's divided into 7 boxes. This one, I decided instead of dividing into 7 boxes, I would just do the lines. And they do have these 3 things down here. So I'm going to try the lines and see how that works. Like I said, this is mainly for my advanced planning where I write in. I'll still write go-tos at the top. And then just any things I know ahead of time are happening or need to remember at that time or get done near that date, I will write ahead in this calendar. And then when it comes to transferring it to my daily, that's what I do. So they go in kind of an ombre. If you can tell, a darker green for July, a lighter lime green for August. And this is what it looks like printed. I'm not a huge fan of the lime green. And then we have September. I like that muted color better. I do like how the days are just written big at the top. You can't miss it. And and the tabs are very easy to grab. So I kind of went over all that in the older one. I just wanted to show you the newer updated one. And like I mentioned in my other video, which combined, see, and sometimes I write things well in advance with a sticky note, like book boys well checks. Need to remember to book them in December because they book up 6 months in advance at my doctor. I don't love how December's purple, like I said. Sometimes if the color just, like I think of Easter, if it doesn't go with a month, sometimes it just needs to be more muted. But it's a nice purple. It's just I don't think of it in December. January is a darker purple. That's fine with me. I like that darker saturated, almost navy. Yeah, it's almost navy. I like that. So February is like a magenta. And I think about every year or so, they kind of change their colors a little bit. Year or two. I'm not sure how often. So you'll have to check that. But I'm not a fan of this peach at all. But let's go to the end so you can see what's here. Sorry. I said this was going to be shorter, but I did have 2 planners in here. They have the June notes. They have some dot grid pages, just like 3. They have passwords, contacts like the old one. U.S. holidays, which I like because they have for 3 years written out for you. 2017, 2018, 2019 U.S. holidays. That's nice to have the 3 years laid out. And then they even give you 2019. Since this planner only went to June 2018, I think that's great that you get the 2019 calendar. They changed their pocket a little bit. It comes up higher. That's great. I'm sure it'll work even better for some people. It was fine for me before. And they have the plastic on the back. And that is the print of my cover. So this is the 1718 Plum paper. So they have so many different weekly layouts. If you're wanting to try a more affordable planner in which you can choose a lot of stuff, they have lots of color choices on covers to choose from. You can start at any month you want. You can choose from so many different weekly layouts. Just go to the Plum Paper site and check it out because it is worth checking out if you think it's something that might work for you. So those are my 2 Plum papers. Like I said, they're my main one. The weekly I leave laid out and I would transfer to my Emily Lay Daily Simplified. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being patient with my wordiness. Have a great day.